Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors have Jonathan Kuminga trade decision to make with Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram reportedly available. Jonathan Kuminga, more than any of the other supposed next-up guys, has been the barometer for the Golden State Warriors' well-chronicled and highly ambitious two-timeline plan. At every turn the franchise has resisted trading everyone from James Wiseman, before everyone found out he stunk, to Jordan Poole, before everyone found out he stunk, to Moses Moody to Brandon Podziemski for an established star who could, in theory, keep Stephen Curry's window of contention open. Kuminga is the only one whose long-term star upside has ever felt like it could be truly worth the wait. Is the payoff starting to happen? It depends on how you look at it. Yes, Kuminga had a career-high 33 in a victory over the Rockets on Thursday, closing the game out with the kind of no-frills, forceful downhill drive that almost nobody else on the Warriors can create. Most importantly, he did this without Curry on the court, which, for purposes of evaluating Kuminga's ability to be a go-to star after Curry's time is eventually up, would suggest he isn't totally dependent on the unique geometric advantages available to him and anyone else in Curry's orbit. On Sunday, Kuminga backed that up performance with another gem, stuffing the stat sheet with 20 points, 7 boards, 3 steals, 2 blocks and 2 assists in a win over the Timberwolves. Kuminga made life difficult on Anthony Edwards with the type of defense he is clearly capable of playing. The 6'7" forward still doesn't do these things on a consistent basis. His defense is here and there. There are times when he's nowhere to be found on the glass, which is all the more glaring because the Warriors are so reliant on positional rebounding due to their lack of traditional size. He's shooting 30.8% from 3 with a cringeworthy 51.6 true shooting percentage. His 60% free throw shooting is a disaster. His 102.9 points per 100 shots rank in the 9th percentile among forwards per cleaning the glass. Frame the star flashes however you will, but at the end of the day, Kuminga is averaging 15 points per game and scoring is the best thing he does. So what's the deal? Are we still only seeing the tip of the Kuminga iceberg? Is Jaylen Brown really somewhere underneath? Or, for all his physical advantages, is he destined to be a star only in these flashes? If the Warriors believe it's the former, you can understand the reluctance to trade him. If it's the latter, the question becomes much more complicated. You don't have to be an all-NBA player to have serious value as a core component. Jabari Smith Jr. might fit this bill with the Rockets, another team, like the Warriors, ripe for a consolidation trade, although Houston says it's not looking to make any significant roster changes this season. Either way, Smith is a good not great player. So is Kuminga. There's no question other teams value players like this. The prevailing perception of Kuminga, in particular, still seems to lean toward future All-Star, a gray area tag that, for the Warriors, makes it difficult to determine whether his maximal value to the franchise lies as a long-term foundational piece or as their one short-term trade chip that can anchor a package capable of luring a true second star for Curry. For Warriors fans, this is Groundhog Day. They've been dancing with this dilemma since Kevin Durant left, really. Outside of Kuminga, not one single defining player of the two-timeline experiment has proved to be worth hanging on to at the possible expense of pursuing more championships over the last chapter of the Curry era, but the surprise 2022 championship, which they won without having to compromise any of the youth they were still trying to evaluate and which Poole was a real part of, makes it tough to criticize the organization's strategy. They basically got their cake and ate it, too. Warriors Stephen Curry drops eye-opening Buddy Hield endorsement. The Golden State Warriors have righted the ship as of late, winning a thrilling contest over the Minnesota Timberwolves on Sunday evening to push their 2024-25 record to 14-9. Golden State had been in a bit of a rough patch, compounded by a brief injury absence for Stephen Curry, but Sunday's inspiring win over a team that has owned them over the last couple of seasons should generate some confidence for the squad moving forward. A big reason why the Warriors were able to rally to defeat Minnesota was a late corner three-pointer from Buddy Hield, who has been a huge part of Golden State's success so far this season. Recently, Curry broke down what he's seen from Hield as a member of the Warriors. He loves the game. He probably puts more hours in the gym than I think I've ever seen anybody. He'll bring joy to the locker room, to the plane. No matter where we're at, you're going to hear him. And I think he lifts everybody up because he's got a great sense of humor. You appreciate everything he brings, said Curry, per the Warriors on X, formerly Twitter. The early returns on the Warriors' 2024-25 season have been promising, if nothing else. After Klay Thompson departed the team for the Dallas Mavericks this offseason, many were wondering whether the team would have enough firepower around Stephen Curry to keep opposing defenses honest. At least through a month and change, Hield has been able to provide that, consistently torching teams from beyond the arc and establishing himself as a fringe candidate for the Sixth Man of the Year award. Still, there are times, particularly in recent losses against the Phoenix Suns and the first of the two games against the Timberwolves, where Golden State's lack of a true number 2 option for Curry has become quite glaring, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see Mike Dunleavy and company try to swing a trade for such a player at the deadline this year. Warriors and Heat star reportedly have mutual interest in dream pairing. The Golden State Warriors are at the doorstep of adding another star ahead of this NBA season's trade deadline. The Warriors are 14-9 on the current campaign. They started off hot at 12-3, but are losers of 6 of their last 10 games. Golden State appears to be in need of another top-shelf talent to fill Klay Thompson's shoes, and a bona fide winner that they've been linked to in trade projections could see himself playing in the Bay. Heat Nation's Jason Simpson relayed a report from ESPN's Shams Charania, which revealed that Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler is expected to be shopped ahead of the deadline and desires Golden State as one of his 3 preferred destinations. Hat tip Legion Hoops: the Heat are open to listening to offers for Butler and making a deal if the proposal is right, league sources told ESPN, and Butler's agent, Bernie Lee, has indicated in league circles that Butler is open to destinations such as 2 of the Texas teams, Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks, and the Golden State Warriors, Charania wrote. Butler is just the type of player that could make the Warriors overwhelming favorites to win the championship next spring. The Marquette product is a fearless, reliably clutch franchise player well acquainted with spearheading his teams to deep playoff runs well beyond conference semifinals play. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.